Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all well. Just wanted to do another video on email objection handling. So if you are sending out emails from previous videos watching mine, you know for a fact that it pretty much works and eventually you're gonna win a client. I guarantee that if anyone can follow my method and doesn't win a client, just get in contact with me, show me exactly what you've done. My email is in the description below. If you don't win a client from following my methods, you're either doing something wrong or you're not putting in enough hard work. The method works, it's free, all the information is there. Go watch my channel. So in this video, what I'm covering is how to deal with when you get a reply back and when there's the case of, oh, we got an objection here, we don't know you, we don't trust you. Now, what I'm going to do is cover exactly what these emails translate to. So in front of you're going to see we don't use agencies, which is a very common one, and we recruit internally. So we don't use agencies kind of can be the same, or we source directly. Yeah. So what you're going to do is you're going to try and either open up a dialogue with these people, or you're going to look at why they're saying this to you. So chances are that they say if we don't use agencies, they're saying that to get rid of you so you don't contact them again. I've had this from companies where I've recruited for them in the past or like a year or so ago, and they've said we don't use agencies. I can see that 3 or 4 agencies. I've had where my friends have actually been recruiting for them and they've said, we don't use agencies. So what they're saying is we use agencies, but we don't use your agency. So there's a massive difference with that. So I would write an email. Let's deal with objection number 1 at the moment, and that's going to be we don't use agencies. And what you want to try and do, you treat it the same way as a call. Now, I'm not guaranteeing you're going to get an email back. And it could be the case of, now there's 2 ways to approach it. You can email them instantly. So you can say, why don't you use agencies? What's the problem? We can do you a good price, etc. Or you can schedule an email to go out off the back of this. Now, this is a powerful method. Most people say, oh, I'm going to follow up in 2 weeks, and they never do. Here's what you're going to do. So you're going to say, look, hello, and you're going to write your email out. And you're going to click schedule, and you're going to schedule for, let's say, a month later. Yeah, and you're going to schedule it like that. But obviously you'd write the email out and you schedule it. So what happens is, let me undo that, instead of you waiting to follow up, it's going to instantly send an email in a month's time. Now, if you do that for every email you come back with, you're going to get a huge increase. Nobody follows up via email, and no one follows up with calls anyway. So you're giving yourself a huge percentage chance. You can set a few follow-ups off the back of that. You can use, as you can see, I use GMass, so I can instantly set up follow-ups through a mass sort of way. Now, we don't use agencies. Let's deal with that. So it's hello, blah blah blah, we hope you're well, etc. We don't use agencies. No, I was simply reaching out. Oh, thank you for that, or just thank you for clarifying. And it's thank you for clarifying. We're not desperate, we don't want to come across desperate. I thought as much, but I wanted to reach out to you regardless. Yeah, so that's a bit of a weak one. I will probably reword it, and I'll put a link in the description below where you can get these sort of copies. Now, another thing you want to sort of look at is why they don't use agencies. Is it they're too small, so you're not following my method? They either don't have any budget. There's a number of reasons. They don't want to spend money on agencies. They feel they can. You're going for the wrong type of job. So if you're going for an administrator, you're emailing for people that are going to apply, they're going to get 200 CVs through. Why would you be contacting those companies anyway? You're purely wasting your time. You need to find out what jobs are in demand. For example, a JavaScript developer probably won't be applying on Indeed. And if these companies are just posting on Indeed, your chances are that if you email them saying you have a candidate or you're willing to help for a particular fee, chances are they're going to engage with you. However, if you're emailing for a receptionist administrator in London, they're going to have 600 applicants, especially in this market. So why wouldn't they use an agency? So thanks for clarifying. But let's say this is the case of, this is an in demand, no one applies for these types of roles. I mean, I've had a row in the past few weeks where I've posted a job for 6 weeks and nothing come through. So I thought as much. But I wanted to reach out regardless to you. And what that's going to say is, look, he understands, he's happy with that. Is there ever a time where you would require an agency's, a third party's agency to assist with the candidate pool? And what that does is it says, look, we don't want your business now, we don't care, later on you might come back to me. A question mark. So what that's saying is, is there ever a time where you've used a third party, or you've used a third party agency for that? And they might say, you know what, for like, I emailed about a company a while back, this is going back early last year, and they said we don't use agencies for this role. I emailed something similar to this, and what they said to me is, actually, we use it for finance roles. Can you help with that? So you might have got the wrong job spec, you might have got the wrong department even. And is there a PSL in place? I would ask. I stick to minimum 3 questions. So is there ever a time where you would require a third party agency to assist with the candidate pool? They're either going to say yes or no. And what if it would be a good use of your time? If it is a cost or service based issue, I would be happy to put together a proposal to send to yourself. That would suit the business, your business needs. And what this does is saying, look, this guy is going to go through the trouble of putting through a recruiter, contingency recruiter is going to go through the fact of, he's going to give a sort of enterprise level sales. He's going to put together a proposal that's tailor made for us. So it might be the case of, if that job is particularly hard and you know for a fact that it's not going to be filled by them. So if it will be a good use of your time, if it's a cost element, or you're just trying to find out. If you get a reply, you get a reply. They might just say, look, our boss said no, we don't use agencies, service is rubbish. And then after that, you kind of think, okay, if we can somehow convince them that our service is good, would they do business with us? Or if it's a cost element, you might want to say, look, for the first placement, I can do a really good offer, etc. So you'd put something at the end of this as well, which I'll add as well. So recruit internally. This is a very interesting one. Part 2. This is probably the worst thing someone can say to me. And actually, when someone says we recruit internally or directly, I actually don't want to do business with them. And there's a few reasons why. The first reason is they have an internal team that is searching maybe job boards or has access to a CV database. They're very keen on stealing clients and candidates from this as well. They will say to you, this will be the most common. You'll find an internal team will say to you, or more likely to say to you, we've seen this CV before. Go back, think about it, and you'll see a pattern where they will search the job board. So you really need to anonymize CVs when you send it. Now, there's a difference between the internal team. Is their internal team people that have just graduated uni and gone into HR or HR coordinator or some rubbish job like that? Or is it going to be another rubbish job, like they've been an agency recruiter and then they moved internal? I'd be very scared of an agency recruiter. One, because they know how to recruit better. If it's a HR team, I'm not afraid at all, because they cannot outperform an agency recruiter. Hands down, categorically. If the agency recruiter, chances are they weren't making money at the agency. So we have a running joke in the industry where we call them failed recruiters, which I think is somewhat true, because no way you're going to go and take a 30-40k basic salary when you can make so much more even working for someone else, if you're half decent. So how I deal with this is very similar, in fact. So it's a case of, copy and pasting a message. Thank you for coming. I thought it might. Let's see if this will work out. I want to reach out, guys. Is there a time we use a third party for good use of time? Is it cost based? Blah 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 blah. I would be happy to put together a proposal to send across to you. Would that suit your business needs? No, I'll take this off. Based, and I would be happy to. Actually, we can leave that in. That's fine. So yeah, hopefully we'll, take it from there. Hope you enjoyed the video.